The time has come to remote view 3AI Atlas. So if you are interested in remote viewing or the interstellar object that has come to visit us recently, and you want to know more about it, then stick around, because I have some really great, interesting information for you that I've already picked up. And we are going to right now see if we can get any more information on our new visitor. So I've picked up a little bit of information already, but what I'm going to do is ask the same questions with the same intention, put my awareness onto the comet, and know, not believe, but know that I am connected 100% to every single thing in this universe. There is no space between me and 3AI Atlas. I know this in my being. I'm going in with intention. I'm putting my awareness where I want my awareness to be. And with this simple procedure, I will be able to connect with 3AI Atlas. My intention is going to be I'm going to ask the simple question. I want to keep it simple. I find my remote viewing works better when I keep it simple. I try and keep it within the framework of something that I want to know about. I have fallen into the trap before when I was learning of just trying to ask so many questions all at once and meet spirit guides and angels and this and that. Let me see Jesus. Let me see heaven. Let me just see everything. And didn't really get anywhere. So I do keep it simple now. Which is another great tip if you're getting into remote viewing yourself. Please leave it in the comment section below if you've been practicing remote viewing and if this tip helps with you. So keep it simple is the first thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to ask, where are you from? I had got an answer before, but if I want to see if I get anything new, and I will bring up what I see. So we're just going to ask that one first. Okay. So this might take a minute or two, but I'll cut the video. I'm just going to bring my attention straight up to my pineal gland. This is going to free me from the physical body. I'm going to be able to see with my spiritual eye, and that's what's going to be able to connect me to this universe through the pineal gland. So I just need to bring my awareness. I do that. My technique to bring awareness there effectively is to send a signal to my forehead, to my eyebrows at this point, that I'm going to raise them, move them. That signal, that awareness on that point of contact allows me to keep my awareness there without it moving obviously all over the place, but just sending the signals from my brain that I'm going to move this part. Even if it doesn't move, you might see it twitch, but I'm going to do that, and then breathing, the breathing will change while I calm myself down and just calm my mind. While I'm doing this, I've already set my intention of what I've asked, so I don't need to keep going over that in my head. Giant rings. It's shown to me like Saturn, but it's a sphere, and it's not Saturn, it's giant rings. Huge ring. The word Sagittarius. I am from the galaxy Sagittarius. Big black hole. Huge rings. They surround the sphere. Sagittarius. Center. The center of the galaxy Sagittarius. So, oh, they were big. That was a big, huge. So I got what I pretty much got last time, but I didn't. The huge black hole. Huge black hole wasn't. It was. I saw. So when I reviewed before, the word Sagittarius kept playing. I don't. I know Sagittarius is a star sign and I think a constellation. I believe Sagittarius is a constellation. So I have to look up this information. We're going to look this up together. The black hole, that was actually new. Huge. It was huge, but the rings were going around it. So let me just explain what I saw. So I saw the sphere, which I saw before. Sphere. So it was shown to me like planet Saturn, but the reason it was shown like that wasn't because of there was a planet there. It wanted me to focus on these rings. So the planet was, it could have been a hole, it could have been a circle, it didn't matter, it needed to be a ball. I asked Saturn, no, these rings, and they're huge. Like Saturn is would seem small, insignificant to these giant rings. So the rings I saw again, the rings are there, these huge giant rings, and then the sphere this time had a black hole that was expanding, and it was growing, and then coming in and growing. And it was moving, but each time it grew, and the darkness inside the black hole around it was kind of, I want to say the rings were glistening. I want to say they were expanding around. The bigger the hole got, the bigger the rings got. I got drawn to the center of this object. So central. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for a galaxy named Sagittarius. We've got to keep that in mind. I am from the galaxy Sagittarius. Okay, I have no idea. If there is a galaxy called Sagittarius. But I have to trust what I see. I was shown this before, but I didn't want to do any research. I didn't want to look. I haven't even watched any, been watching any videos on the subject because I want to keep what I see pure. I want to keep it from coming from a place of trust, so I know that they're accurate. So far, whoever I'm hearing in spirit guiding me through my remote views, I do get guided with voices, but you don't hear the voice. You feel them internally. You feel the word. You see you know the word. You know what they're saying. You don't hear it. You know it. It comes in like, oh, okay, that's what you're saying. So yeah, so we're going to have to do some research on this one. And I just want to add as well, I did ask them before. I don't want to do that now because we've got some research to do, guys. We've got some information here. And some really, really new stuff. I mean, the black hole thing, that seemed really significant. I don't know why. It didn't show up last time. But we're going to look into that. So the information... yeah, so far what have we got? We've got the galaxy Sagittarius, we have the rings, black hole. That's the clues we have. The clues we have for where it came from. So we're going to do some research on that in a second. But first, before we do that, I did ask AI Atlas what it was doing. Because I thought if we can figure out where it comes from, and we can figure out what it's doing, then we can put the two things together and get a really great picture of what's going on here. And I did get a one sentence. I got a whole sentence back. I heard very clearly, peaceful exchange of data software information. And I asked again, and I heard peaceful exchange, really clear. Peaceful exchange. And then quieter data software information, but it wanted to let me know it was peaceful, completely peaceful. Nothing shocking, no fear mongering going on. Just it was a peaceful exchange. But there's something really interesting: peaceful exchange of data, software, information. There cannot be an exchange unless there is a group, a person or group of people on planet Earth that know about this object. Not only know about this object, but are interacting with this object somehow. I know, it sounds crazy, but it was so clear. It was a peaceful exchange of data, software, information. Whether we're exchanging with it, or, I mean, there's other comments out there that comets or whatever they are, there's other objects out there that we don't know what they are that are behaving mysteriously. Maybe they're having a peaceful exchange of data, software, information in our universe. Maybe they're exchanging information. Maybe we're all exchanging. Maybe, you know, because of the Great Awakening, because of the start of the new age for humanity, because of everything that is going on at this time, for the upgrade, the going into the golden age, everything, the just higher ascension timelines, everything that is going on, maybe there is a lot to be learned. Other species, maybe they are learning lots from us, and they're exchanging peacefully software about what they've learned about our planet and about the human race and the ascension, the Great Awakening. That would make perfect sense to me. And it would make perfect sense that there was a group down here that were interacting and exchanging technology, ideas on how we can get through this period of time without blowing up planet Earth. Because I think that it might not come down to they love human beings. It might come down to the fact that they need this planet. Because if you're traveling intergalactically from one galaxy to another, we know this came from outside of our galaxy. It came from somewhere else. We don't know where yet, but we're going to put them clues into. We're going to look at them clues in a second. If we already know that, right, then we know that Earth being right on the very edge of our galaxy would be an absolutely great place to stop and replenish before traveling on again. If you've had to travel from one edge to another, Earth would be an absolutely perfect, beautiful spot with materials, minerals, water, air, fire, everything you need, life to live as we know it, to have a physical experience. These beings could be interdimensional, but it is a place where if you are traveling physically in a physical body, you've put your consciousness into a physical body, and you need to stop for physical reasons, for biological reasons, water, feeding, air, rest, then Earth would be absolutely on the map, the perfect place to stop if you were then going to travel on somewhere else, because it's right on the very edge of the Milky Way, and it's beautiful and it harbours life, and it's just fantastic down here, isn't it? And it's going to be more fantastic. But yeah, I'm really super excited. So we have a peaceful exchange of data, software, information going on, and we have the clues of where it's come from. The galaxy Sagittarius near the center, and another clue, black hole. So we're going to have a look at that now. Okay, so let's just have a look in here. Is there a galaxy named Sagittarius? Yes! There is a galaxy named after the constellation Sagittarius, known as the Sagittarius dwarf spheroidal galaxy. Spheroidal. Remember I was saying about the sphere? That is super interesting. It's a satellite galaxy of our Milky Way. So it's actually our satellite galaxy. That is also really, really interesting. There is also the Sagittarius dwarf irregular galaxy, SAGDIG, which is further away. Additionally, the supermassive black hole at the centre of our own Milky Way galaxy is called Sagittarius A. Okay, that's really interesting, because I saw a giant... Maybe it used the black hole at the centre of our galaxy to travel through from... So let's just keep on looking here. Named after the Sagittarius constellation where it is located. Spheroidal galaxy. That is so... I mean, come on, guys. We've got the spheroidal galaxy. I saw the sphere. We've got the supermassive black hole. We're going to really have to look into this. Discovered relatively recently in 1994. Okay, so there is, as we can see here, where is it located? It's a small nearby galaxy, and it is located about 3.5 million light years from Earth. So that is really, really interesting. Naming of the constellation in which it resides. Let's see if we can have a look at some images. So when I typed in Sagittarius Dwarf Galaxy, this is what came up. And I'm not sure what this represents, but we can see the giant rings. Giant rings. And then these giant rings that go around the galaxy, possibly around our galaxy. But there is a huge celestial object. It appears these huge rings that go around the galaxy. And it's within these rings, it's within this area of space that there is a black hole. And I believe that the 3AI Atlas has travelled through a black hole from the Sagittarius Dwarf Galaxy, travelled through our giant black hole in the middle of our Milky Way galaxy. So if we have a look at this model here, if 3AI Atlas had travelled through a portal in the centre, Sagittarius A, and come up from the Sagittarius Dwarf Galaxy through this portal here, and has travelled across this way to us, to near where we are. Okay, so inside this galaxy there will be many, many suns. Our sun will be over here, which is why we've only just been able to start detecting this, because the distance it would have had to have travelled still from the centre of our galaxy across is a tremendous distance there. So this could have been the exact entry point into our galaxy through the black hole Sagittarius A from the dwarf galaxy Sagittarius. It's all lining up. It's all starting to make sense. And yeah, from what I've seen in my remote viewing sessions, this matches up perfectly with what I've been seeing. It's really, really interesting stuff here. This would only make sense if there was a black hole in the Sagittarius Dwarf Galaxy. So I asked the question, and we have it here. The Sagittarius Dwarf is a satellite galaxy on the Milky Way and is currently being cannibalized by our galaxy. It is not unusual for dwarf galaxies to host black holes. The astronomers are studying Omega Centauri to understand their formation. The Sagittarius Dwarf Galaxy is believed to have a central massive, supermassive. Okay, that's interesting, because the black hole I saw was massive and it was growing. Remember, it was expanding. And as it was expanding, the rings were expanding. So that's really interesting. It has a central supermassive black hole, or IMBH, that is similar to the one in our Milky Way galaxy. So that 100%, if the dwarf galaxy did not have a black hole, then I would be wondering how it had travelled through. Because I know from experience that black holes are portals and we can travel through them faster than the speed of light. That's how our consciousness moves through the universe. So for an object to be able to move through these from dimensional to physical, absolutely 100% possible. And the fact that there are now two supermassive black holes, one in our Milky Way galaxy, one in our satellite galaxy, this absolutely 100% matches up with what I've been seeing in my remote views. This is really, really exciting stuff, guys. If we take the information I received in my remote viewing and the information that is just matched up online, then all the evidence points to 3AI Atlas coming from our very own satellite galaxy, Sagittarius, that I didn't even know existed before doing the remote viewing. That is why it is so important, if you're going to practice this, is to trust your intuition. Because we might see things and hear things that at first we don't understand, but if we go with our intuition and trust what we are seeing, then we will often find, very accurately, 90% of the time, it will actually lead to a very valid piece of information, and it all starts to link up beautifully. That's one of the amazing things about spirituality and the gifts that we all hold inside of us. I'm going to put this image up here in the corner because I think it's a beautiful image of what I saw, so you guys can start to see a little bit of what I saw. I wasn't aware that the dwarf galaxy Sagittarius was a spherical galaxy, and it created these giant sort of loops around our own Milky Way galaxy. This is what I saw. I saw a giant sort of sphere in the middle with these loops, these rings, but they were so big. The rings were massive, and now I can see why the movement of the galaxy around our galaxy will leave debris, crumbling stars and all sorts, leaving these giant rings that actually gravitate around our galaxy, because the mass of our galaxy, just like a planet gravitates around a sun. Satellite galaxies, and no one taught me this in school, I've had to learn this with you guys on this video. Satellite galaxies, because of the mass of our galaxy, the Milky Way. I didn't even know we had a satellite galaxy, let alone it was called Sagittarius. Funnily enough, the same name as our very own black hole in our Milky Way, which I learned on this video too, called Sagittarius A. How interesting is that? So it leaves these giant masses of debris that circle our Milky Way, huge rings, and I was getting drawn into the center of the black hole that was expanding with the rings. So we found out on this video also that our satellite galaxy Sagittarius has its own black hole right in the center. So if we look at this evidence with what I saw and what I felt and what I was told in remote viewing, then all the evidence points to 3I Atlas travelling through its black hole center into our universe via Sagittarius A from its galaxy Sagittarius. And remember, I heard in remote viewing, I am from the galaxy Sagittarius. It's amazing when you see the patterns start to link up. All the evidence points to one thing, and it makes complete perfect sense. I mean, for starters, I didn't know we had a satellite galaxy, but that's great, because it's important that I don't do research before remote viewing, so that whatever I get is pure. It can be trusted, and it's coming from a place of love. It's not coming from a place of ego or manipulation from what I've heard from somewhere else. It's coming from a place of purity and divinity, so I can trust the word and the things that I see. And when they lead me to new discoveries, it's even more amazing. What is it doing? I touched on this a little bit earlier. I did remote view a few times throughout the day, only once on camera, but I just wanted to show you the process. But one of the other times I remote viewed, actually in this very spot, I asked the question, what are you doing here? Now, I heard back in a full sentence, peaceful exchange, data, software, information. They were the 5 words that I heard. Peaceful exchange, data, software, information. Now, at first I thought that must mean that a group or a person on Earth must be communicating or exchanging with this object, which is possible. However, with recent research, I have looked up what this could mean, and people have been making videos and finding out that there are 7 visitors coming to Earth within a 6-month period, all giant objects. We have an idea of what most of them we think they are, but some of them are just behaving so strangely. So maybe there is a peaceful exchange of data, software, information amongst other species, other beings that have come to this universe for this time to watch the awakening of humanity. Because why else? If there was a mass meeting of intergalactic beings, interdimensional beings, physical, non-physical, as we may know it, if there was a mass meeting just on the edge of Earth and where we are, within an observable range, especially with their technology, what could be the purpose for that? They could be exchanging information amongst themselves about what is going on Earth at the very moment. We know we are in a period of history like never before. Yes, there's been the times of Atlantis, the times of the Egyptians, many times, maybe 2 or 3 other times of mass ascension, but we never quite got it right in them periods of time. So what is it so special about right now on Earth? Right now on Earth, we have the ending of the Piscean Age and the start of the Aquarius Age. This is a cycle that takes thousands and thousands of years. We could have had potential hundreds of lifetimes in the Piscean Age, learning and growing in the age of separation, blind faith, dreaming and obedience. We were brought up to trust our elders, trust our teachers, trust our leaders, ask no questions, do what you were told. Even with religion, we were told what to believe, never to question, never to be blasphemous and question our priests or our elders. We led with blind faith those underneath us who were also following in blind faith. It led many of us to salvation, some of us to grievance, but some to devastation. The blind faith era is over and we are moving into our own power. We can still dream like the Piscean Age, but these dreams are going to be grounded in a reality far beyond anything that we've known before. So it really doesn't surprise me that in these times of greatness and awakening, a group of advanced beings have come to watch what is happening here on Gaia at this time. You see, it's been spoken about for millennia that there will be a time for humanity to go back home. Just like on the figure of 8, it has a center, but we drifted, and God, divine, higher self, source, whatever you want to call it, allowed the game of duality to play out down here in the physical. This led to great experience and great growth, but at some point the curve had to curve. We had to ascend and travel back to our center with God at home. Now this has been displayed in apocalyptic ways and raptured like we're all going to be lifted from the earth, but this is not the case. We will remain here in the physical. What we have to do is remember that physical and spiritual are not separate. We do not have to leave our physical bodies to ascend. We can ascend in this physical body, something that is gravely unique to human beings, which is why religion has said that man was made in the image of God. This is true. This is true. As everything, consciousness is made in the image of God itself, and everything is a reflection of that consciousness. But human beings are uniquely special, especially down here in the physical, that we can carry light. We can carry divinity within every single atom of our body. We hold the glowing gold love of God. And through spiritual practices, we are starting to find out through ascension, meditation, and many other ways that we can reach Christ consciousness, which will be the return of Christ. I have seen it myself, if merely for a fleeting few seconds, the blinding white light of God followed by the golden cross in meditation. My return of Christ, my very unique, independent return of Christ. I saw it. It convinced me 5 years ago that all of this stuff, this spiritual woo-woo, the tinfoil hat, all of the stuff we're told not to believe in was actually true. This unique journey is unique unto our own, but we are doing it also collectively. If you had spoke to me personally 7 years ago about God, about spirituality, Jesus, I would have had a rough, mumbled up idea of the Bible. I would have said, I think there's something, but I'm not sure what it is. I would never ever have believed in anything like remote viewing. So this goes to show how special these times are. Within a 5-year period, I started meditating. I found out I had spiritual gifts, which is what convinces me that you at home watching this right now also have spiritual gifts. If you wanted to practice them, they may not be the same as mine. You may be able to heal. Something I've tried to learn and I can't seem to do. I can't even seem to heal my own physical pains. But there are people out there that can heal through energetic work. It's 100% real. I don't yet hold that spiritual gift. I need more practice, but things like remote viewing, seeing visions, predictions of the future came more naturally to me. So don't be discarded if you try to remote view and you can't do it personally, because your gifts may lay in something else. I happen to be an empath, a sensitive, so I can pick up energies and things. So picking up consciousness in other places seems to be something that was natural for me. However, if I had remained in the darkness and asleep and carried on drinking alcohol and partying, just working for a wage so I could blow it in a pub on the weekend, I used to be that guy. If I carried on, and there's nothing wrong with that, I learned a lot of lessons, I learned a lot of trauma in that. That actually needed to happen. That's what I signed up for, all that trauma. So I'm not putting anyone down if that's where you still are, going out there and just wanting to enjoy yourself and please the pleasure of the body. Yeah, all I ever wanted to do when I was younger was please that pleasure of the body. Believe me, it's a real thing. But if I was still living in that energy and I didn't start meditating and asking them deep, deep questions, why am I suffering? Why can't I stop drinking? Why can't I stop being promiscuous? Why can't I stop looking for the next high? When was it, I'd end up in hospital 2-3 times. Was death going to be the thing that woke me up? Was I going to wake up too late when I was on the other side saying I could have done better? Well, this is our chance. And this is what 3AI Atlas and the rest of the gang, a group of 7 of them now coming in. All right? And we may think we have an idea of what it looks like, but when they start behaving strangely, we start throwing theories out there. The best thing we can do is turn to our intuition. Ask beings that don't rely on physical technology to answer spiritual questions that can't be answered with telescopes. We have to ask the real professionals, the spirit guides, the angels, Yeshua themselves, God themselves, yourself, your higher self, your connection, your soul to the divine. Speak to that part of you that is connected to the Alpha and the Omega, that is connected to the All. And I promise you, they hold the truth. They hold the answers. But what about the demonic forces that try to manipulate you? They try to say, well, this is a great question. Humans, when out of alignment, are very easily manipulated. We can see this when people are intoxicated. They have been removed from their divine compass, shall we call it, their soul. That part of us that tells us right or wrong, truth or false. That part of us that has never let us down. Our gut feeling that always keeps us safe. That gets switched off when somebody is intoxicated, when they're behaving in a way that is completely out of alignment, when they're being manipulated by outside forces like money, power, control, corruption. Wrapped up in a bow to make it seem special, like success. Oh, you're successful now. People, we can see when people act out of alignment, they are capable of some very, very awful things and following some very, very awful information to commit awful acts. When someone is in alignment and listening to their inner divine compass, it is impossible to trick that person, to manipulate that person, or to control that person. This is why information like this has tried to be suppressed so much by people that control the physical world, the money systems, the housing systems, the health systems, all powers of control. And it goes into entertainment, it goes into movies, music, it goes all over the place. Evil cannot control divinity, only love, God, can do that. So what it does is creates a false world around us in the physical. Drugs, drink, money, sex, jewelry, cars, mansions, swimming pools, planes, private this, private that, 365 pairs of boxers for the year so you can just throw away one every single day. Waste, consumerism. Waste, consumerism, pleasure chasing. This fake world has been built around us because that is all they can control. Now, why is this important to 3AI Atlas? Because we are breaking free from that system. We are waking up from that system. Humans have been close but never, ever, ever successfully broken free from that system of control. And every time we have tried, we have been suppressed, put down and manipulated with wars, with hate. Let's fight against that race. Oh, this race hates you now. Oh, no, this gender hates you now. Oh, the higher class hates you now. Oh, no, the lower class is going to hate the middle class. They just want us completely wrapped up in this fictional game built on fear. So there's a very, very easy way you can tell if you are being manipulated by a negative entity. Inside, does it feel like you are being liberated? You are being given a piece of galactic divine information based in love? Or does it feel like it's come from a place of fear, ego? If I don't believe this piece of information, something bad could happen to me. Does it feel like inside that this has come from a place of more of a physical? It's going to give me physical pleasure, possibly. It's going to make me feel good if I say this. This makes more sense logically in the physical. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to ignore my intuition, which is telling me something that I might not understand right now, like what we get in our remote views and our visions. I might look stupid saying this right now, but I have to trust it's coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of unity and connection, a place of truth. Or is it coming from my mind, from my brain? Am I thinking about possibilities? If I don't say this bad thing could happen, this thing could happen, that could happen, because that's fear-based, that's anxiety-based. Is what you're hearing coming from a place of trust-based information or fear-based information, where you have to try and put a load of logic to it all of a sudden quickly, and all of a sudden you're wrapped up in the human experience? It's very, very easy once we're tuned into ourselves to feel the difference. And that comes straight into the physical. So if someone lies to you, there's no point arguing with them all of a sudden, because, you just know, okay, and that's their decision to make. If they want to lie to you at that specific time, that's their decision to make. Now it's up to you to respond accordingly, how you see fit, in alignment with who you truly are. So we can do this in all aspects of our life. So the human being is not only going to get close this time. I feel it. And I'm not the only one. We can all feel it. There's something massive, massive, massive happening. It is the success story of the evolution of mankind. And if I told you that the universe, not just this group of 7, they're the ones that might have made the journey to pick up some peaceful exchange of data, software, information amongst each other, amongst ourselves. But what if I told you the whole universe has been waiting for this, watching this, have heard about this, like it's rippled through the neighbourhoods, the galactic neighbourhoods? Have you heard about Earth? Have you heard what them blooming human beings are doing? They're doing it. They're ascending. They're breaking out of the false matrix. They're realising the illusion. They're going back to God. They're coming back home. The humans, they're coming back home. Have you heard? Have you heard the word? About the bird? Yeah? It's a metamorphosis. As the butterfly comes from the cocoon, human beings are finally turning into the beautiful butterflies that we are inside. Not wrapped up with the stickers and the pain of you're ugly, you're overweight, you're too skinny, you're not muscly enough, you're going bald, you're getting old, you're now worthless. All these stickers that block out our light. We're peeling them off. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You're wrong. You're wrong. Respectfully, you're wrong. We're doing it. We're doing it, and they're watching. And I think what can be learned from this moment in time will not only help humanity, but every other single species in this universe. That's how important your role is right now. No pressure. No pressure. But we're in this together. You're not in this alone. I'm here with you. We are here with you. So I want to thank all of you for being down here on earth with me and all of us at this great time of awakening. It is tough, but it is beautiful. And if there's one thing we like on earth, it's a little bit of beauty. So if you haven't already and you want to become a soul experiencer on this channel, just hit that subscribe button. You don't even have to like this video, but subscribe, because there might be a video that you want to watch in the future and you might decide to like that one. If you want to like low, give it a go. If you really want to do me a favour, you can hit the notification icon. But you won't just be doing me a favour, you'll be doing all of us a favour, because if this message can spread further and further, then the unity, the love, the connection can spread further and further. We've got people in Hawaii watching, America, Switzerland, UK. We've got people all over the demographic watching, awakening, ready for their soul experience to remember who they truly are. So, AI Atlas, coming from our satellite galaxy here for a peaceful exchange of data, software, information. This is some great information we have. We can build on this now. This is just the start. And I believe there is way more to this interstellar object that we are being told about in the mainstream, let's say. It's going to take us guys to figure out the truth, to go with our gut feeling. But hey, how beautiful is that? What have we learned? Satellite galaxy right next to ours. It's just amazing, you know, and it makes sense just popping across, you know. Why wouldn't it? But there we go, guys. Maybe that's the portal they all use to come through. But we have to do more research on this. We're going to dig into this some more. It's been really, really great for you guys to come along and watch the remote viewing and everything. I really appreciate all of you. Leave in the comments below if you're going to start practicing, if you already remote view, and what information you have about 3i Atlas. What does your intuition tell you specifically? Leave it in the comments below. I love you all, and I will see you soon. Take care for now. See you soon, guys.
There's not much to do when all I can is thinking about you. Not doing well, don't know where you are, 'cause you're not here. It's been way too long.